Still spending hours rendering section in Illustrator? As an architect and designers, 2D drawings are very important, whether it's for portfolio, presentation, or a client pitch. But finding a tool that lets you both draw and render with ease, that's rare. Hi, I'm Kritika. You might have seen my minimal monochromatic style architectural illustrations on Instagram. And today I'll walk you through how to create beautiful section render the easy way using my favorite Rayon Design. And a good news, if you're a student, Rayon offers a free account. Link is in the description box below. So let's dive in. Let's open Rayon Design, and here you can see the main interface. If you haven't checked out my previous tutorials on Rayon Design, make sure to explore those too. Now I will start drawing the section. Simply go to the bottom toolbar and select the wall tool. On the right hand side, you can adjust the thickness, fill, stroke of the wall. Let me begin by creating the room. You can insert distance and the angle of the wall. That's how you can create precise wall segments easily. Once done, click done, and then the section is created. For this tutorial, I'm working on a living room section. Next, I will use the rectangular tool to create details like flooring material. First, I will draw the base rectangle and then adjust its thickness. Again, from the right hand side, you can control all the rectangle properties. To duplicate it, simply press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and here's my flooring layer. Now, moving to the ceiling, just copy the same rectangle, paste it and position it accordingly at the top. I will quickly add all the section details before we move forward on illustrating. Just like we do in Illustrator or other similar software, Rayon Design is such a powerful tool. You can create precise architectural drawings and also have freedom to add hatches, textures, and colors. I really enjoy using Rayon Design. It makes everything smooth, quick, and super intuitive. Now the ceiling is done. On the right hand side wall, I'll be adding a window. To do that, I will head to the left hand side panel, go to the library, and either search for window or browse through the folder. Then just drag and drop the window block into the design, and it's that easy. One thing I really love is the variety of the blocks available. You don't have to look for external assets. Everything is right here in Rayon. Another feature, I love working in layers. The layer panel in Rayon Design is extremely easy to understand and much simpler compared to most CAD softwares. From the bottom toolbar, I will select the guideline tool, choose the vertical and place a guideline on the right wall. Then, using the offset tool, I will create an offset of 0.62 meters. Press enter, and to repeat the command, press enter again. In this elevation, I have an entertainment unit at the center, shelves on the both sides, and a couch on the left, and a cozy reading nook on the right. Perfect for natural lighting and calm vibes. Once that's done, I will use the line tool from the bottom toolbar to draw vertical lines. Select first point, then select second and press enter to keep the tool active. After finishing vertical lines, I will do the same with the horizontal guidelines. Using the guideline tool again, this time choosing the horizontal. I will place one at the flooring level, then offset it as needed. Rayon Design makes the process so seamless. It works directly on your web browser. No need for heavy setup or high-end computer. It's smooth, efficient, and enjoyable to use. Once all guidelines are in place, I will continue with the line tool to create shells and other elements. Now it's time for the TV unit, which has an arched shape. First, I will place guidelines on the arch using the guide tool. Then I will draw the vertical lines using the line tool. And finally, I will select the arch tool from the bottom toolbar to create arch. I will also create an offset of the arch, and it's done. Now the fun part, adding textures and visual elements to the illustration. Let's start with the ceiling. I will select the ceiling rectangle, go to the right hand side Properties panel and under Fill, choose Hatch Pattern with vertical lines. I will reduce the hatch size and change the color to grey so it's more stubble. I want to apply the same hatch to the arched TV unit. To do that, I will take the zone tool from the bottom toolbar, draw the shape, then edit it by adding or adjusting the points and segments. Once the shape is done, I will use the eyedropper tool to match the same hatch from the ceiling and apply it to the arch. Isn't it so quick and easy? Now, let's add some textures to the flooring. Select the flooring rectangle, go to the Fill and choose the wooden flooring texture. For the construction material layer, I will select it and add diagonal hatch in grey color. Finally, let's customize the walls. Select the wall, go to the Fill option, choose a grey solid color. If you prefer hatch, you can also add hatch, but I personally prefer a clean solid fill for this style. Now, it's time to add wall color. I'm going to start by creating a rectangle, and from the Properties panel on the right hand side, I will choose the fill color. I'm selecting a sage green tone. I don't want any stroke to it, so I will click the minus icon next to the stroke setting, and here you go. We have our wall color. Make sure you organize your layers properly. I want to keep my line work visible, so the line drawing layer is placed above the color layer. Next, I want to add some texture to the wall, so I will create another rectangle on the top and apply concrete texture as fill. I will reduce the opacity to blend it softly, and just like that, we have beautiful textured finish. And look, no Photoshop needed. Now, it's time to add more elements. The library in Rayon Design has everything you need, from people, furniture to lighting. I will go to the living room folder. What I love is that each item comes in multiple views, top, front and side. It's so convenient. Let's start dragging in elements. I will add pendant lights, then I will bring in a sofa from the library and position it like this. If you want to customize any object, let's say change color, you can easily do that from the Properties panel on the right. Next, I will add a throw over the sofa. Little things like this make the space feel more lived in and dynamic. Then I will bring in the TV and place it inside the central arch. One by one, I will add all the elements, a lamp, a chandelier, a chair. For the reading chair, I will click, choose, transform and flip horizontal, then place it by the window. The perfect reading corner is ready. If you want to create your own elements, it's super simple. For example, let's create a TV console. I will start with a rectangle, adjust its dimension and use the line tool to adding details. Then I will create drawers, add little handles. Once the shape is ready, I will apply color using the fill option. You can even add wooden textures here if you like. Want to add books? Super easy. Just draw small rectangles, fill them with white color, copy, paste, resize and voila! You have got books on your shelf. Now that our sectional elevation is almost complete, it's time to add dimensions. From the bottom toolbar, select the dimension tool. Just click on 2 points, drag and your dimension appears. On the right panel, you can customize text size, color, stroke, style, everything. Here's something I love. Let's add shadows. Use the rectangle tool to draw a shape where you want the shadow. Fill it with black, reduce the opacity around 10 and remove the stroke. Then just copy paste the shadow and apply it to your shelves or other object. Instantly adds depth and make your elevation look more professional. Here's my complete sectional elevation of the living room. And don't worry, you can go back and change any elements at any time. Just select the object and use the Properties panel on the right to tweak color, stroke or the line thickness. Now, how can we forget the Artikki-style illustration? Let me walk you through how to make it. First, I will copy one of the sectional elevation. Then I will go to the pages section, create an A4 sheet size in portrait orientation and set the scale to 1:40, and I will place the elevation neatly at the center. Next, I will create a layer called background and move it to below all other layers. Using the rectangle tool, I will draw a rectangle that covers the entire page and fill it with light gray color, no stroke. Then create another white rectangle just behind the elevation and remove the stroke again. You will see why I did this in a bit. To add a pop of color, I will use a circular tool and create a circle in the background and fill it with soft yellow using the color picker. No stroke here either. If it appears on the top of the elevation, simply rearrange your layers. To make this more dynamic, I will draw another circle and change the stroke style to dotted. This adds a playful graphic element. Let's add some more elements, a tree and a human figure outside the section. I will bring them in from the library, scale and position them for balance. Now, time to label the space. Using the text tool, I will type living room. You can adjust the font, alignment and the style from the right-hand side panel. Want to add more graphic elements? Draw a rectangle, fill it with grid hatch, change the color to white, reduce the opacity and scale, and boom, you have got a beautiful texture pattern. Our Artikki-style is almost done. Finally, I will add a short description of the living room and insert the material palette to complement the sectional elevation. To export, just go to the Pages panel on the left, click on the three dots next to the page, choose Export as PNG, and you are done. You can check the line weight, and when everything looks good, click Export. Your file is ready. And just like that, your section render is ready. Rayon Design makes it incredibly easy to create and style 2D architectural drawings all in one place. If this made your workflow easier, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss a future video. And next, I am thinking to render a 3D diagram using Rayon Design. Let me know in the comment box if you want to see that. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, happy designing. Bye-bye.